Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. Club. It's 5:30 in the city. I'm just here on George Street awaiting the light rail to turn up. And what we're going to do is go on a book summary, a bit of a walk and talk. I'm going to head down to Circular Quay. I'm starting work at 6:30 today, so I've got an hour to pump out a couple of 5 a.m. clubs I've prepared for, and in order to get to my 1,000 by my 61st birthday, I need to deliver 4 a day. So I know what my target is, and I'll just do whatever I need to do on a daily basis to generate 4 book summaries or 4 5 a.m. clubs, which I absolutely love. So today's book summary is entitled Invisible Influence by an author named Jonah Berger. A wonderful book summary about how we're influenced by our environment and how we can use it, and how we can basically leverage the knowledge that there are people out there, there are activities, there are influences all around us who are either positively influencing us or negatively influencing us. So there you go. So Invisible Influence is a book, and he kicks off with a quote which says, just like atoms bouncing off each other, our social interactions are constantly shaping who we are and what we do. So it's really important to understand that who we hang out with, who we watch, who we listen to are going to influence us in many ways. So just looking at the light rail here, this carriage here is empty, which is good. So I can get on the light rail and continue chatting away without annoying anybody. So the key point to understand is that we are influencing and we are getting influenced by people all the time. I remember Jim Rohn and Steve Covey always saying that at the end of the day, you're basically at the average of the half dozen people that you listen to or hang out with. So something to keep in mind, and our parents always told us, show us your friend or show us your friends and we'll tell you who you are. So a truer word has never been said. So it's pretty key to understand that interactions, all of our interactions, are constantly shaping who we are and what we do. And to be realistic, it's virtually impossible not to be influenced by other people, at least a little bit. But at the end of the day, most of us are heavily influenced by our environment, and we don't even know it. You know, the clothes we wear, the things we say, the music we listen to, the books we read, the people we look up to. All of those things are basically shaped by others around us. So how can we use this? How often do we see where a celebrity, somebody who's well known, expresses their opinion on a particular topic, be it political, be it environmental, be it social, and they express their opinion, and all of a sudden tons of people get on that bandwagon because it's become popular, because it's become social proofed. And with the increase in social media, what we also find is that there is a platform now available for each and every one of us to voice an opinion, to influence, but also to understand that platform can also work against us, where we can become influenced. So let me just get in front of this light rail before it takes off. Don't want to get splattered on my way to work. So we need to learn the impact and the mechanics of how social media works and how influence comes about, so that we can make better choices and at least know what is happening to ourselves, to our friends, to our children, to our family, and to, I guess, manage it as best we can. There have been a number of studies done over the years, and the interesting thing is that people prefer familiar people. So the lesson here for all of us is to try and become familiar as much as we can. And one way of becoming familiar is through social media, is by subtly getting into people's faces. And I have a few friends of mine who are just tremendous at leveraging social media, and they do it subtly. I'll admit that I overpost and I overdo it on social media with far too many posts. But there are people who will do one post a day or one post every couple of days, and they'll do it subtly, and they're in our faces all the time. And that familiarity is something which is beautiful, and they're able to influence subtly, not aggressively, and get their message out and make a difference on social media. So I guess the key lesson is that we all need to be connected in order to become an influencer. And if you're not connected, if you're disconnected from social media, then you're going to struggle, I guess, in terms of getting your message across. So the key lesson from this book is that you need to be on social media if you want to be an influencer. The second formal point to come from this book here is that although you may not see it at first, we tend to embrace other people's opinion and imitate their actions. And as I say, it can be subtly, and you do it without even the knowledge of it happening. But it happens in social circles. You know, the people who are most opinionated within a social circle, the people who are most expressive, are the ones who get listened to the most. You know, and it's pretty obvious that you're going to listen to the squeaky wheel, even if you like it or you don't like it. You're going to be influenced by the noises around you. So I guess an interesting observation and a call to action is to make sure that A, you're aware that you're going to be influenced, and B, you ensure that you're surrounded by the voices and the people and the I guess the influence that you want in your life. The last thing you want to do is to be hanging out with people who you don't really like, or you don't really share similar sort of opinions, or you're not looking in the same direction, because regardless of how tough and how strong and how focused you think you are, you're going to adopt their opinions, their lifestyles, their thought processes, their energy levels, and it's going to be infused and intertwined, inextricably intertwined and weaved into your fabric of who you are as a person. So the key understanding here, the key message from this author, is to understand that you are being influenced. We are all being influenced by those around us. Look at that orange hue around the Opera House this morning. How glorious is that? That is just magic. We're going to have an absolute cracker of a sunrise. There's not a cloud in the sky. The breeze is very, very gentle, and it's autumn, so we've got the temperatures. It's a cooler temperature. It's probably about 9 degrees this morning, which is going to make those colours really pop, I think, this morning. Just glorious. I'll just keep on walking around and we'll go all the way around to the International Passenger Terminal. So once again, we love hanging out and we love being with people who are familiar. So what else can we get from this book? The fact that we're being influenced, as we said, by the people that we hang out with. But it's not only the people that we hang out with physically, it's also the people that we hang out with socially on social media. Let me just make another point. That little structure over there, the lighting has ceased, and it's gone from being a most spectacular installation to something now which is absolutely boring. Just goes to show how just the lighting can make such a difference in the things around us. Justin, how you going, mate? So as we were saying before, you don't need to physically hang out with these people to influence you. Now we've got social media where people are constantly popping up, messages are popping up, tweets are popping up, and whatever you're reading, depending on your mood, is going to shape your views on different topics. And the reason why it happens here, the author's telling us here that the reason why it happens, the reason why we get influenced by other people's opinions, is that most people are just lazy, mentally lazy. So they don't want to have to think about the consequences and make up their own opinion. What's easier for them to do is just to adapt someone else's opinion, and especially if they think that opinion is going to be, what's the word I'm looking for, popular. Because if you're at a dinner table, at a dinner date, where you're socially mixing and mingling with other people, you want to be popular. So you want to be saying the things that appear to be popular, and hence what the author here is saying is that you're only going to be adopting the views that that resonate with most people, and you're not going to want to be talking about things that may make you stand out and not be accepted within a social realm. So people just adopt and adapt other people's views. And there's also a social pressure that everybody feels. You know, the need to conform, to fit in, is something which is working for us, but it's also working against us, because all of a sudden, if the people who are influencing opinion have an agenda which is not aligned to your values, not aligned to your cultural and traditional upbringing, then it's something that's going to cause a cognitive dissonance. And but you know, there is a lot of pressure for people to conform. So the last points to come out of this book here is that motivation and distraction come from the people around us, and it also depends on the tasks that we're doing. because we tend to mimic others, and we also tend to some people like being watched and being admired, and yet there are other people who, if you focus on them and spend some time looking at them or trying to be part of their activity or their life, then they get stage fright. So not everybody wants, to be under the microscope, and the reason why people get stage fright is that they have fears, and the stage fright comes from the reptilian brain being activated and looking out for dangers, and it causes you to freeze, to fight, or to flight. So the last point of this book is basically reminding us that because of social influence, because of all the things that happen at the mental, the chemical level, we need to try and hang out with people who are high achievers in the areas in which we want to achieve ourselves, and to understand that the people that you spend time with, the people you look up to, the ones that come across your feed on social media, are the ones who are subtly but surely influencing you on a daily basis. And before you know it, even though we all think that we're independent thinkers, they're wearing us down. Their views, their opinions are slowly but surely shaping your opinions in a way which you may not be aware of, and in a way which you may not approve of. But before you know it, you'll be singing their song and you'll be flying their flag slowly but surely. So thank you very much for joining me on this magical Sydney autumn morning. Let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay committed, stay relevant, and most importantly, let's make the most of this special day and take some lessons from this book entitled Invisible Influence by Jonah Berger, and to know that we are being influenced, but by the same token we are also influencing. So I look forward to coming to you again from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment, where we can become partners in each other's development, where we can be the wind beneath our wings, the wave beneath our boards, and the zephyr behind our sails, to help us live, learn, and grow and develop, and to pass it on to other generations, to help make their life a little bit more meaningful, and to be the link in that long chain to pass on our values. Even though people are going to be changing, as long as they know what the values are that they have been handed, that's probably one of the keys for each and every one of us. So take care, Filaka, and we'll chat again soon. Bye for now.